sashimi. 3, 2, 1.
Well guys, tuning you about again. This time we got a review of R-Type Delta HD boosted on the PS5, which is also out on the Switch, PS4, Xbox and Steam. I was given this code, purpose of review, but I could basically say whatever I want about it and no one's reviewing the footage before it goes up. All it was, I just can't say anything about it until the 20th, which is release day, which is today. So, R-Type Delta. R-Type Delta was originally a PlayStation game that came out in 1998. I remember buying it in 98. I've still got my original copy actually. And this was a pretty amazing game on the PlayStation in 98. And pretty much the second best R-Type game. I say the second best because I love the original so much. But this is definitely the second best R-Type game. As you can see, it's been done in HD visuals. You've got 4K, you've got updated textures and everything. So it's not just an upscale. They have gone through the game and updated the textures. You do have an option of switching back to the original graphics to have a look at it. Or you can, and the second option you get is a slightly wider screen. You may be able to see it, where it's like slightly shaded on the edges and you can see enemies flying in. So that's quite a nice little option. Basically the gameplay on this, you get a choice of 3 different ships. You get the lock-on type, you get the tentacle type, and you get the original R-Type ship. I'll tell you now, the original R-Type ship is probably the worst one on you, and the best one is the lock-on one, which you can basically you shoot the force off and you can lock it onto certain enemies and it drains their energy down, which is pretty fantastic for this bit by ear. So you get the 3 ships, you get a bit of, basically you get a bit of choice of how you want to play the game. Each one of them is very different as well, so they do require different tactics to get through the game. So that's pretty much how this game works. So my recommendation would be to play the lock-on ship, because the lock-on ship is definitely the best. Though the tentacle one's very good as well. So, the other extras they've added to this is they've redone the music. You do have a choice to play the original sound or all the remixed music. A couple of people came back and did the remix. You got Chris Hülsbeck, who came back, and I'm pretty sure he's done 5 of the tracks on here. You've got Ishida, who did the music for R-Type 2 and Image Fight, done some of the tracks on here. And USP, which were basically the people who did the original music for this game, they've come back and remixed a couple of tracks on here as well. And I will say, it definitely used the new music. The new music's very good indeed. And there's a nice remake of the Amiga sort of title screen music, which Hülsbeck did as well, that he's done for this, which is quite nice. So yeah, R-Type Delta, say graphically I think it's very nice indeed. This game does have 7 levels, and as in R-Type style, you can't just blast through the levels. You couldn't just pick this up and blast through it. You need, I know it sounds funny, you need to learn the levels, but you need to map out routes on the levels, otherwise you've got no chance of doing them. So like all R-Type games, this is going to take a lot of practice to be very good at it and be able to work your way through it. I used to be able to finish it back in the day, but I'm just basically relearning the game again myself. So at the moment I'm relearning level 5. As for learning the game, there is a practice mode on you. You can sort of pick a level. You can't pick any level, you've got to get to that level first before it unlocks in the practice mode. And then once you've done that, then you can pick a ship, you can pick what power you got. There's like 3 or 4 sort of restart points in the levels. You can pick your restart point, you can pick your power and things like that, but there's no like reverse. So if you die, you can't sort of reverse it back. So, but the practice mode is pretty decent. I have used it a little bit on one of the sewer levels to get some, try and do them. The levels on this are nice and varied as well. I love the way that you start off in a city, then you end up underwater in some sort of facility, and then you fight a huge like tank thing that you go around. Then you're in this level where you're flying up, and it almost like you're flying up into space, going through some facility, and then you end up in the classic sort of R-type levels with a biomechanical, and then so on. So you know. The levels are very varied as well. They do. Each level will require quite a lot of practice to get through, and to learn, you need to basically learn a route. That's how it works. You need to, obviously, with the force on the back of you. Each one of the ships have got different weapons as well. The tentacle weapons are good. It's got like the orange laser is like a tentacle, which is probably the best on that. The lock on the charge weapons as well, actually, they've all got a different charge. You've got your classic R-type charge, and the tentacle guy's charge is basically like an explosion, and the lock-on type charge is like an electric beam. So there is differences in the weapons, there is differences in the charges. There's also a smart bomb. How this smart bomb works, you basically, the more things you hit with the force, which is the shield on the front of your ship, the more things you hit with the force, it powers up the smart bomb, and then you can use that smart bomb on bosses or through levels. It's very handy for wiping out certain sections in levels will have lots of bullets and things, and it's very handy for if you're stuck on a certain section. With the bosses on this, as you can see, like classic R-type, you have to learn how the bosses work and the best sort of ways to actually attack them and get through them, because the bosses can be quite difficult in this. But it's risk and reward. This game rewards practice basically, and once you've got it down and you know a good route, you can. It is possible to 1cc it and 1 life it. I've done it in the past, but that was like 20 years ago or whatever, so I can't remember how to do it now. But as you can see, the levels are quite varied. The one thing I do like about the graphics in this game is the really sort of like dark, dingy look that this game has compared to other R-types. The other R-types are quite sort of bright. This one's like dark and dingy everywhere you go. Gives a good atmosphere to the game, especially with the enemies and stuff as well, and all the different set locations. So yeah, the new sound. As I mentioned, some of the sound people come back and did some of the soundtracks, and the new sound is pretty fantastic. It's very much like the original sound, but redone and remixed, and it's got a lot more sort of beefy sort of sound to it. I notice the game does have a bit of rebalancing as well. I notice this on the third level. When you get to the point where you've got to fly under the walker's foot, on the original there's some little tiny walking enemies there which you've got to shoot, and they've been removed. And also once you get to the middle part of it, which you have to shoot, sometimes you get walkers walking along the bottom. These have been removed on this version, and that's a pretty good idea, because they were quite frustrating on the original, and they did make our level overly hard. So yeah, R-Type Delta, it is a brilliant game. I really like it. It will take some practice to play it, mind, and I will say that if you're not very good at shoot 'em ups, maybe this is not the shoot 'em up for you, due to the fact of the difficulty in this. You are gonna have to take a lot of practice in this to be able to beat it. But I would definitely recommend this game. This game is pretty excellent, and if you go back and if you love the original one on the PlayStation, you're going to love this release, because it just looks so good. The one thing I would say about the graphics, you still get on this version, you still get the sort of wobbly graphics. I know in Duck Station you can actually patch it to sort of get rid of the wobbly graphics, but you still got it in this. But you know, it's just how the PlayStation was, isn't it? But you know, apart from that, you're getting like HD visuals, redone textures and everything, nice music. This game plays lovely as well. So yeah, I highly recommend it. I would say, like, I really like this, and if I hadn't had a code for it, I was buying it anyway. So quite nice I had a code for it, I can't complain. So if you like the original PlayStation R-Type Delta, you're really going to like this new HD boosted version. It's very good. So hope you enjoyed the review, guys, and I'll catch you soon. Bye now.